top of mind for investors this year as markets around the world struggle to gain strength. To talk about how to navigate market cycles, I'm joined by Jarden's Head of Wealth Solutions, Chris Wilson. Thanks so much for joining us, Chris. What are the issues that are cropping up most for investors this year?
Yeah, look, there's been a couple of things happening globally which have really impacted on markets, as we've seen in the first quarter. And really there's two major things that are impacting. There's inflation, and we're seeing that come through in supply chain issues creating inflation in the market. And obviously the central banks are having to respond to that. The other thing that's happened is obviously they've had geopolitical issues, and the Ukraine being the main one. And so with that, you create uncertainty. And so from a New Zealand context, that flows through into markets and how people approach things. The pathway of interest rates is definitely something that plays on our investors' minds.
And for investors who may be seeing or experiencing larger losses for possibly the first time or the first time in a while, how should they think about that?
Look, for us, it's really that importance of understanding what your investment goals are, really why you started to invest in the first place. Making sure you're diversified, so you don't have all your eggs in one basket, that you do have a good spread. It's very difficult to perfectly foresee where markets will go, so having that diversification is really important, and really coming back to what was the purpose of investment in the first place, and are you still on track to achieve those goals?
What can we learn from history about how long these market cycles can possibly last?
Yeah, and that is a really difficult question because no market cycle is the same in history, and as the saying goes, history doesn't repeat, it echoes, and so there's always similarities. But one of the things we do know is that market and market pricing tends to be a lead indicator for market sentiment. So by the time you start to feel good about investing again, the chances are the market's already moved on, and so that's why we talk about diversification, because actually that ability to perfectly time markets is really hard.
Thanks so much for joining us, Chris.
No, thanks, Matt.